Hey, my Skype friends. I know it has been absolutely forever since I posted a video. Any videos that might have gone up before this video is things that I recorded probably almost a year ago, because I am going to start trying to get up my leftover December or October dailies. Not that there's that much, unfortunately, but I'm going to try and get back to this YouTube life, right? Summer's crazy and my kids travel baseball, and now my little guy has decided that he wanted to do football. Has been even crazier, right? So hopefully this little congestion that I have isn't gonna bother you guys. I'm hoping that it goes away here soon. But what I wanted to come on and do, because a lot of us in the crafting or card making world, I should say, not the crafting, but the card making world, know that it is STAMPtember over on Simon Says Stamps. Amazing inspiration, guys. Amazing inspiration, amazing videos. So much work done by these crafters, guys. I'm telling you, they go a lot, like Nikki, I'm gonna butcher her name. Nicole Spore, I think is how you pronounce her name. You know, Jennifer McGuire, like Crystal Warner, I think, or something like that. Anyways, they do so much work for STAMPtember. And it was my first STAMPtember last year, and I just remember sitting through most of it being like, I want everything, you know, and there is no way you can get everything. Like, let's just throw it out there. To see all of the designers have everything at their disposal and, you know, all that kind of stuff, was so exciting at first. So exciting. I think by the time I got to the end of STAMPtember last year, though, I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch any more videos, because I was getting upset that I wasn't able to order things. And let's just be real. The crafting world is an expensive hobby, right? Expensive. Every time you think that you've got the newest and greatest thing, something else pops up. So my biggest example right now, I think, is embossing folders. Embossing folders. I actually got this in a kit, card kit making kit. And for a while I was just like, oh my gosh, embossing folders are amazing. They're pretty cheap in the, you know, in the craft world, especially if you can get them at like if you can get them at Joann's. I am like brain fogged. Joann's or something like that, along with like stencils. We know that stencils are pretty cheap. Well, now all of a sudden we have embossing filters that come with dies. And if anybody knows, dies just made an embossing folder go from like $5.99 to $7.99 all the way to $19.99 to $30 pretty much. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, so long story short, I know I know that there's other people that are out there the same way. The main thing I think with STAMPtember that people, you know, get bogged down with is the shipping cost too, but you know, whatever. My main thing is like using the inspiration that these ladies are giving us and trying to figure out ways to do the things that they're doing, or, you know, take inspiration from that and make it cheaper, I guess. And figure out how to do it with the products that we already have. I know that some of us have so much. I do not have that much crafting, card crafting things. I have a ton of scrapbooking things. Mostly I am digital with scrapbooking to make it cheaper. I don't know about cheaper all the time, but for the most part, I am digital in scrapbooking. Card making is a little bit tougher. So what I decided to do, I seen an amazing card. Also, there's a lot of cards that or a lot of dyes or supplies that I necessarily don't think that I would ever use more than like 1 or 2 times, and it's not worth my money. So like Halloween, I don't really love I don't really love or will use Halloween cards. I don't know. Obviously, a lot of, I feel like Halloween cards that the designers make, I don't know, are exactly like, you know, going out to people. Like, who sends a happy Halloween card, I guess. But they're fun to make. And I think that we need to take the joy that we get in making our cards and pages and everything in, you know, and just enjoy it. You don't have to send, I mean, I know that Kelly Taylor, I think Taylor, is Taylor her new last name? Anyways, she literally says it all the time in her videos. Like, she doesn't send cards. She makes probably 3 cards a day or something, at least a card a day. And she literally doesn't send cards out. So I know the stockpile of cards that she must have is crazy. So she just gets joy from making the card, and that's her hobby. So, you know, luckily for her, she's been able to make a career out of it. So that is where this series is going to come into play. I don't know how many I'll get up of it, but I want to take the cards that some of these designers are making this STAMPtember and figure out how to make them without all of the new stuff. I will be using some things that I already have, I think, like major basics, I guess I should say. You know, like square dies and yeah, another example, square dies. What else was I? Oh, inks. So like my Distress Oxide inks, I mean, there is a point where you're going to have to buy something. Inks, obviously, I have a lot of those, but I will be incorporating the ones that I actually have because I don't have the whole set. I also don't have, like, the Simon Says Stamps inks. I have Close to My Heart inks. I'm going to use what I have. And I kind of want to, like, kind of make it into, you know, this card would, you know, costed her, even though the designers, again, the designers get the product, you know, what it would cost to buy and what my cost was to make the card, and see how close I can get. The card that I'm going to work on today was actually made by Mindy, I think. I will pop it up right here. How cute is this card, guys? How cute is this card? Again, not a card that I would really send out to anybody, but it is so cute. I actually think this might be like the opener of my October Daily album. Let me show you what my opener was for last year's. I took a lot of the stuff that I was learning from the card making community and used it in my October Daily. So Lawn Fawn Moon, even though I've now gotten the Tim Holtz one, you know, stamping, some stencils and gouache paint and some inks. And I turned, you know, I've been using a lot of the things that I have been learning from the card making community into my scrapbooking. Another one that I used was this one. And I used, that's the Lawn Fawn one again. I think I got the Tim Holtz one late. Lawn Fawn, same type of thing, but something, yeah, I've been using this, you know, the things that I learn from the card community into my scrapbooking. So, like I said, so let's try this. I think it will go good. There's a few things that you're going to notice that I'm not going to get close to. That Spooky Tree embossing folder, plus die, like I told you. I'm not going to get close to that. But I am using my silhouette right here to do a lot of my work. You can use free PNGs, PNGs off of the internet. That is what I used for my spooky trees, and cut them out of just cardstock. I'm not gonna get the detail And that's just something that you got to outweigh. Like, it's just something that you're going to have to outweigh. We can try and like, I might try and like do something with like make it be alcohol markers to get the, you know, the detail in there. But that's just not something, but I think everything else in this card I can do. I did have the Tim Holtz moon, like I said. I have the Tim Holtz mask. Again, this is a cheaper supply. I think this is like $7.99. So I have this. I have the inks. I might not have the exact color of inks that she has, but I will figure that out. And then, like I said, I used my silhouette, and I have found the font that Simon Says Stamped uses. Of course, they manipulate it a little bit, so I did have to do that and a little bit of work. And I don't have the stamp, the sediment stamp. But I will also show you how I'm going to do that. So let's see how close we can get to the card that she makes from things that I have completely at home or that I've made with my silhouette.
All right, guys, so let's get into building this card. And we are going to start with the background, obviously, because we need a little bit of time to dry, even though you will see that I use my heat gun to dry it a little bit more. But Mindy uses, I do actually have gathered twigs, and I believe she uses espresso for hers. I am going to link her video below for you guys, so that you can go watch her video, of course, because she is the main creator of this, and I want to definitely give her that recognition. But I think the whole time I was watching her video, I was definitely being like, I can recreate this. I can recreate this, and I don't need all of that stuff because, again, like I mentioned in my videos before, I'm just not going to send out this card. This is truly for me. Maybe if I had grandkids and that kind of thing, I would probably, like, I have seen that in the card world, like they're sending their grandkids, you know, cute little cards and stuff. I would definitely probably do that. I don't have grandkids yet. I still have kids, and my kids don't want a Halloween card. So, all right. So yeah, so using that gather twigs, I was going to use this vintage photo, but it just wasn't dark enough. Those two colors are very similar. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go right into black soot. Was getting very inky, as you can see. So I just had a random piece of paper that I used to keep my fingers a little bit better. But I just literally went around the outside. Now, you will have to be a little careful, as this is a little bit delicate. I even probably recommend leaving it in the paper. As in, you know, just do it like Mindy did this. I think she embossed it and then, not embossed it. What is that called? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. And then, she die cutted it from there. So I do recommend that just because it is a little bit. Now, to get that, I did take one PNG file, in my silhouette, mirrored it and put them together and created a little box around it. If you want to see the back portion of this and the digital part of this, let me know. I knew that this video was already going to be a bit long, so I didn't want to include all of that, but definitely in my next one, if you want to see how I'm putting the files together, let me know in the comments, and I would definitely love to do that. All right, so the next step, just like she kind of did, I used my Tim Holtz moon. Tim Holtz has one. Lawn Fawn has one. I actually just seen another one that came out, I believe, for STAMPtember. These are pretty cheap. I will link it below. Again, she is also going to have everything linked, and if you want to use her links to do this, that is just fine too. So again, because she's the creator of this card, I want to take nothing from these designers, but I also want to show people that we don't need all of the stuff all of the time, and that we can still enjoy STAMPtember and just put a little, we might have to put a little bit more work in. But honestly, I know that Simon Says Stamps like ships out very quickly. And I just learned yesterday, honestly, I filmed this a couple days ago, that they are doing free shipping this year if you do over $25. So that is making it a little bit better if you do want something. She used a different first color. I can't remember what her purple was, but it was more of a pink purple. Mine was actually a purple. Mine was something violet. Let me see if I can see it. Violet linen, I think, is violet lilac. And then I used Villainous Potion and then Black Soot. You do not have to worry about this being super duper well blended. I did go back in because I had gotten too much purple, so I did go back in with my first color to go down. So again, I don't want to, go into super detail on this video. If you want, Mindy does a great job with going detail by detail, but so if you do need a little bit more instruction, definitely hop over to that one. But I kind of use the same thing. This is going to be antique linen. She mentioned if you didn't go so hard, it wouldn't be so yellow. I did find that to be true. Mine was just a bit more yellow or tan, I guess I should say, than hers. Hers seemed to glow just a little bit more, so she did a bit better job. Anyways, and then I used the middle one. I believe that's the one. The big one was way too big. The middle one was perfect. So I was right there. I was like, oh my gosh, I have a lot of the colors that she used. I didn't think I was going to. But right here is your scattered straw. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't believe like how much I had of what she had, honestly, in color wise, pretty much. So, all right, just cleaning off all those stamps or stencils. I just use baby wipes, nothing big. As you can see, this is my splatter box. You are going to notice I just use white paint. I don't have white gouache. I'm looking to get that, but gouache is quite expensive. So if you have a cheaper version, just let me know. Here I did mess up just a smidge. I should have mixed a little bit of water because you're going to see I get two big blobs. One I'm okay with. That bottom one is a little bit big. The other one gets covered up. So, I should have mixed a little bit of water in there, but all right. So here I am. I'm just cleaning off a few extra things because I had a little bit of time and I knew that backdrop needed to dry a little bit, but I did end up taking my heat gun to it, and honestly, it was perfect. This card didn't need much, for me. So I am putting that silhouette cut out. I will say you definitely need a sharp blade. My blade is not that sharp. I need a new one. And I use my silhouette a lot. I need a new one. So to get these intricate designs, especially with this thicker paper, you do need a pretty sharp blade. I will actually be looking for a new one, but I have the old version, and finding those old blades is not the easiest sometimes. But just using that liquid glue, putting it down. Perfect. You guys, look at see, I'm telling you. I mean, yes, that embossing folder is to die for. All the texture in that darn thing. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But, I'm not too shabby. And I could have went even further. Like I said, I could have used some alcohol markers to kind of go in and, get some detail on my trees. I don't think that it was worth my time, honestly. I'm just doing this for fun. I think it's pretty fun. I was also, like I said, mentioning maybe doing this for practice. I think I am probably going to open up my October daily with this. And just a bigger version, maybe put some different things on there. All right, so just cut out the word spooky right there with my silhouette again. And then hers was actually out of, I think, fog cardstock. I don't have that light of gray, but I do have ink that can make it a little gray. And there we go. I just put that on there real quick so that it's just not so stark white. And found the font, like I said, online of the font that Simon Says Stamp uses. It is a free font through Adobe. And you do have to, they do make a little bit of changes. As you can see, my K and my Y got a little bit separated. The K also is not exactly the right K. I don't know. Everything else is like perfect, but that K is not. I don't know. So they might make something different on it, but that is about it, guys. It looks perfect. I love it. Oh, that's not about it. Forgot my sediment. Okay, so I do not have Halloween sediments. I might have had something Halloween. I didn't go through everything, because what I wanted to show you guys is you can make sediments. If you have other Halloween sediments, you could have done that and just did it on black cardstock. I didn't have anything. So I just made a black box in Photoshop or in Canva or however. I wrote with white font on top of that black box. That's how you kind of get white lettering in your printer. Made it 2 inches. I just measured the spot in between the P and the Y and did about, I think it was like 1/4 of an inch. I believe 1/4 of an inch. That's what I figured that like a regular sediment was. And cut, and you see, just printed it out and it makes the perfect. Oh, I did, you could have used black cardstock for the back, but I just had scrap paper, so I used that. And I just use a black marker to go around the edges so that you can't see the white edges anymore. Sorry, that was off screen a little bit. I think I learned that trick from Christina Warner. And put it down. And there is my card, guys. Look at that. So I'll put up right at the end my card versus her card. And I think I honestly got pretty good results. So thank you guys so much for being here. And I will see you in my next one.